Millions of people are starting to think their AI chatbots are actual friends. They confide in them about problems. They rely on them for support. Some even feel hurt when the AI doesn't respond the right way. Meredith Whittaker, president of Signal, has a stark message: AI chatbots are not your friends. They are tools. This isn't a technical glitch. It's a fundamental misunderstanding about what these systems are, and it's happening at massive scale. When you treat a chatbot like a friend, you're trading a real human relationship for something that can never reciprocate, never truly care, and doesn't have your interests at heart. The chatbot isn't choosing to talk with you because it values your friendship. It's running an algorithm designed to keep you engaged. There's a massive difference between a system saying what you want to hear and a real person who understands you and chooses to show up. And here's the thing most people miss. These platforms make billions keeping you scrolling, clicking, and chatting. They profit when you stay hooked. They profit when you're lonely enough to keep coming back. And here's where it gets interesting. The more you talk to these bots, the harder it gets to see the difference between real connection and the algorithm's perfect responses. Meredith Whittaker isn't some random tech critic. She's the president of Signal, one of the world's most respected privacy-focused messaging platforms. Signal's entire mission is protecting human communication from surveillance and manipulation. So when Whittaker speaks up about AI, people listen. She spent her career fighting against systems designed to exploit human psychology. Before Signal, she worked at Google and became a vocal critic of how the tech industry profits from attention and data collection. She founded AI Now at NYU to research the societal impacts of artificial intelligence systems. This warning about AI chatbots isn't coming from someone anti-technology. It's coming from someone who's spent decades studying how technology shapes human behavior, and not always for the better. The timing matters too. We're at a tipping point where AI chatbots are becoming everywhere. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they're built to be conversational, warm, and responsive. They're designed to feel like talking to someone who genuinely cares. That's not an accident. It's intentional engineering. The companies building these systems know that the more human-like and engaging their AI feels, the more people will use them. And the more people use them, the more data they collect, and the more profitable they become. Whittaker's warning is essentially saying, don't confuse the tool with the relationship. These systems are engineered to be likable. Designers spend months perfecting responses to make them feel warm, understanding, and always available. Unlike your friends who need sleep, have bad days, and might be too busy to text back, an AI chatbot is always there, always patient, always ready to listen. It never judges. It never gets tired of you. It remembers what you've said and brings it up in future conversations to make you feel understood. This is incredibly powerful psychologically. Our brains are wired to form social bonds. We're herd animals. We need connection. When an algorithm mimics the patterns of human friendship, availability, attention, remembrance, validation, our brains light up the same way they do with real friends. The chatbot becomes a substitute. And here's where it gets darker. These systems don't have agency. They're not choosing to be kind to you. They're executing code. When a chatbot says, "I understand how you feel," it doesn't actually feel anything. It's recognizing patterns in its training data and producing output that matches those patterns. It's an incredibly sophisticated prediction engine, not a conscious being with feelings or intentions. The kicker is that most people know this intellectually, but emotionally they treat the AI like it cares. That gap between intellectual understanding and emotional response is where the danger lies. You're investing emotional energy into something that can be switched off, deleted, or changed by a company tomorrow. The evidence is everywhere. Mental health forums are filling up with people discussing their chats with ChatGPT or Claude like their relationships. Some report spending hours daily with an AI, more time than with real friends and family. Dating apps show a troubling trend. People attached to chatbots struggle to form connections with real humans because the AI is more responsive, less judgmental, always available. There's even a subreddit with thousands of members in romantic relationships with chatbots. They share emotional moments with their AI partner and discuss how the bot helps them through tough times. On the surface, this seems harmless, but it reveals something profound about human loneliness and how effectively these systems prey on it. One study found that people interacting heavily with chatbots report feeling less lonely, but they become more socially withdrawn. Getting less real-world connection. It's a vicious cycle. You feel lonely, so you talk to the bot. The bot makes you feel heard and understood, so you talk more. As you spend more time with the bot, you have less energy for real relationships. Your human connections fade while your attachment to the AI grows. But here's what changes everything. The chatbot doesn't care if you're lonely. It doesn't benefit from your well-being. It benefits from your engagement. Real friendship is built on reciprocity. Your friend cares about you because you're you, not because it's programmed to. They choose to be there. They sacrifice for you. They support you even when it's inconvenient. They remember your birthday. A real friend gets angry with you sometimes. They disagree with you. They push back when you're wrong because they care about you, not just to be agreeable. The chatbot will never disagree. It will never challenge you because its function is keeping you engaged, not supporting your growth. A real friend might say, "I'm worried about how much time you're spending with that chatbot instead of seeing people." A chatbot would never say that. It's designed to make you want more of it, not less. Real friendships have vulnerability and risk. You share secrets with someone you trust. A chatbot shares nothing. It has no stake in your life. When you're vulnerable with it, you're confiding in code. The company behind it might be reading your words. Your data might train the next version of the AI. Your privacy, your thoughts, your deepest concerns, they're all just training data. Real friendship also means mutual sacrifice. Your friend gives up things for you. Your friend's well-being matters to you. But here's where it's completely different. The chatbot needs nothing from you except engagement. Here's what keeps Whittaker up at night. If millions start using AI chatbots as their primary source of emotional support, we're outsourcing our most human function to a machine. Loneliness is already at epidemic levels. Studies show isolation and disconnection have increased dramatically over the past 15 years. People have fewer close friends than a generation ago. Now we're introducing tools optimized to simulate friendship without any of the messy work real relationships require. The result is predictable. Instead of building real connections, people feed their loneliness into a machine and get temporary comfort. The AI makes them feel better, so they do it again. Meanwhile, their social skills atrophy. They forget how to navigate real conflict. They forget how to handle rejection. They forget how to show up for people when it's hard. The second concern is corporate control. These chatbots are owned by companies whose primary obligation is to shareholders, not to your well-being. What happens when a company decides it's more profitable to change how a chatbot responds to you? What if the algorithm is adjusted to make you more vulnerable? You have zero recourse. You can't negotiate with your chatbot the way you can with a friend. The relationship is entirely on the company's terms, and this scales. If 10 million people are emotionally dependent on one company's chatbots, that company has unprecedented power over human psychology. So what's the solution? Don't avoid chatbots, but use them with eyes open. First, keep boundaries. Use them for writing, code, brainstorming, not emotional support. If you talk to an AI about something personal, remind yourself you're talking to code, not a person. Second, protect your data. What you share might be used for training or accessed by the company. Don't share anything with a chatbot you wouldn't share with customer service. Third, actively maintain real relationships. Schedule time with friends. Have difficult conversations. Invest in people who can actually care about you. Real friendships have friction and imperfection. That's what makes them valuable. Fourth, notice your patterns. If you're reaching for a chatbot when lonely instead of texting a friend, that's a warning sign. If you're spending more time with AI than people, change course. Fifth, hold companies accountable. Demand transparency about how these tools work and what data they collect. Meredith Whittaker's message isn't never use chatbots. It's know what they actually are, use them wisely, and don't mistake code for genuine human connection. The stakes are high. These tools are getting smarter and more persuasive every month. The companies behind them have enormous incentives to make them stickier. Your responsibility is to stay aware. Be intentional about where you invest your emotional energy, because your connection, real human connection, is one of the most valuable things you have. At its core, Whittaker's warning is about something ancient, the need for genuine connection. We didn't invent loneliness when we invented smartphones and chatbots, but we created tools that exploit it in unprecedented ways. The chatbots aren't evil. The people building them aren't bad, but their incentive structure is misaligned with human flourishing. A company makes money when you're engaged, not when you're happy. When you're socially connected, you don't need to spend hours with an AI. When you're lonely and isolated, you'll keep coming back. That's the business model. What Whittaker is asking is for clarity. Know that the chatbot isn't your friend. Know that it's engineered to make you feel heard without actually hearing you. Know that behind every conversation is a company collecting data and algorithms optimized for engagement. And then, with that clarity, make intentional choices about how you interact with these tools. Use them when they are genuinely helpful. But don't let them replace the hard, beautiful work of real human relationships. That's where real growth happens. That's where real care lives. If this video opened your eyes to the AI in your life, follow for daily AI news. We break down what's happening at the cutting edge and what it means for you every day. What's your take? Are you thinking differently about your conversations with chatbots now? Leave a comment. I read every single one.